President, ladies and gentlemen, as club captain and therefore representative of all the boys, it is my privilege and pleasure to extend a very cordial welcome to all our guests at this, our Christmas party. Whilst this is considered my first speech, my maiden one was done when I proposed a vote of thanks at the recent club week. I must admit I am feeling a little nervous at my first real speech. However, I gain confidence in the fact that I have only 5 minutes, and therefore I think I am getting off a little lightly. I am so sorry to say that quite a number of both guests and boys cannot be with us this evening, owing to sickness. Among the one that is noted is the chairman of the management committee, Dr. Wiley, and Mr. Hydale, our art teacher, the latter being in hospital due to a motoring accident that happened this week. I am very pleased to say that both are improving well, and I hope that you will all join me in wishing them every success. We are very pleased to see that our president, Colonel Tetley, and his wife are with us again. They are also looking very well, I see, and enjoy their tea. I am sure our Christmas party would never seem complete without their presence and their continual interest in the club. This sometimes we are always proud to boast about. As most of us are aware, this is my first year as club captain, and having attended all Christmas parties since joining 5 years ago, I have also looked forward to this event, but little did I think in those 5 years that one day I would be at the head of all these boys who are now making a name for themselves in the famous youth work. I hope you've all enjoyed your tea. This is only the beginning of a very happy evening together, I hope. I propose to close my speech by again saying welcome to your party, and also to take opportunity on behalf of the boys and myself to wish you a happy Christmas and all the best for 1956. I would now like to call upon Reverend L.J. Thomas, the club chaplain, to reply on behalf of the guests.
Well, club captain and dear friends, when Mr. Goodyear asked me if I'd perform this little office and service tonight, I felt a cold shiver going right over me and through me. I had never realized before, never made to realize, that I was in a sense a guest. I've been so linked up with this club for so long that actually rightly or wrongly, I've so often felt that I was really a boy all the time. So close has been my intimate relationship with the club. I haven't been able to come in as often as I used to do in the old Jack Lane days and when this club started, but that's just how I feel toward this club. Nevertheless, I felt highly honored really to be asked to perform this little duty. It's a very pleasing one for me. Nothing could give me greater pleasure or deeper joy. I feel sorry for the guests because of really the inadequacy of my words in the endeavor to respond on their behalf to this generous invitation we get year by year from the boys and from the club. It is really kind of you to ask so many people, and yet all the guests, I believe, are very, very intimately bound up with your life in this club. Shall I put it this way? After all, we belong to the same family, because I think the endeavor in this club all along the line has been to build up the family spirit and create firm and fine family traditions. And whoever comes in here for any length of time soon finds himself really embraced into the life of the club and into the life of the family. And I do want to express, therefore, our very profound appreciation for this invitation which has come again this year. I can assure the captain that we have enjoyed it. There's one thing about it, having dinner about, or lunch about 12:30 to 1 o'clock, then you go and watch a game of rugby league. Well, it's a long time to wait till 6 o'clock. And yet, it has its compensations. It has been said that hunger is always the best sauce. And if you are hungry, you can always get down to a good meal. And that's what we've done once again in the course of our life in the Hunslet Boys Club. We've come in here and we have really had a jolly good meal. And over and above the material fare, the food, there is food in more senses than one here. The atmosphere is as lovely as ever here. The place has been beautifully decorated, and really anybody who couldn't feel happy in a place like this tonight, there is something really wrong with him and with her. Coming here every Christmas time enhances one's happiness. It enriches one's life, and I feel sure I am expressing the sentiments of all the guests tonight when I say that. I feel younger, I feel happier, I feel healthier and better in every way after spending an hour or two like this in this club. And we are indebted really to the boys and to the others for this pleasure and joy which comes to us every year. The club captain wished us a very happy Christmas. Well, I want to reciprocate and say to all the boys, may it really be a merry and a very happy Christmas to all of you. And may it be a happy and prosperous New Year too, in every sense of the word. God bless you all, and thank you very much for your generous and kind invitation, and for all that we have already partaken of, and for what lies ahead for the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to call upon Mr. C.R. Stevens, a member of the Management Committee, to speak to the voluntary helpers and instructors. Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the Hunslet Boys Club. You have heard from Mr. Thomas some of the eloquence of the Principality of Wales. You would guess that from his intonation in any case, and I really can't hope to follow properly in his footsteps, although he'd be delighted to know that my mother's name was Mary Jones. Nevertheless, it is a very great pleasure for me to be given this opportunity, a pleasure and a privilege, to speak to the voluntary helpers and instructors. As I was coming out this evening, we were working or moving about the house by the light of candles. We had some sort of accident in the neighborhood, evidently, because the electricity was all off. And I wondered what on earth was going to happen if that was the case down here. And I was greatly relieved to find when I got here that you had no such problem and were all out and all set for a very happy evening. There are many guests at this table who could deal with this special matter much better than I can, but I am delighted to be able to say one or two words to the voluntary helpers and instructors.